morning, everyone. My name is Injalabel Bivanyo, and I am assigned to report about the journal writing and narratives. So let's have journal writing first. So, what is journal writing? It is a learning tool for the student to absorb complex themes presented in fictional narratives and record his or her reactions to new topics and ideas. So, in simple words, this is a way for students to sort out all the new information and make sense of what they are learning. Teachers ask students to keep journals with the understanding that students will share their journal with the teacher and be an important source of information about learning difficulties, misconceptions, strengths and weaknesses, and metacognition. That's why journal writing is a kind of window, okay, into how students are thinking about what they are learning. So why journal writing is important? Based from Toby Fuwiller, he has written extensively about the usefulness of student journals as the heart of a school-wide literacy program. So journal writing works because every time a person writes an entry, instruction is individualized, meaning the teacher can focus on the need of an individual. There's no biases at all. So, the significance of journals as records of thought cannot be underestimated by teachers who value independent thinking. The journal records the student's individual travel through the academic world. At the same time, it serves well when formal papers or projects need to be written. Now, how can you make it happen? I have here four ways of journal. We have here first, double entry journals. This will help students analyze central concepts and refer to the text for justification. Second, reflective journals help students develop metacognitive skills by reflecting on what they learned and how they learned it. Third, dialogue journals help students converse in writing about content they are learning, and learning logs help students keep a record of their learning, clarifying their thinking and learning. And then the fourth one, writing journals or writing notebooks can also help students keep track of their ideas and thoughts that they may want to write about in the future. I have here organization. Okay, these are the ways that you can give to your students. Okay, we have here the journal can be a spiral bound notebook or a binder of loose leaf paper. You can also keep the journals in designated place in the classroom or have students keep their journals in their desk so they can access them easily. You can also develop a classroom routine for distributing and collecting the journals. You can also divide their notebooks in different sections. You can label them by subject area, or one section of the notebook can be assigned for each type of journal writing you will ask students to do during the year. As you introduce and model each type of journal writing, students will use in their notebooks, have them take some simple notes on the first page of each section. Later, when you assign the type of journal writing, they can refer to their notes to remind them of the expectation or like their guide. And then we have here establish a system for identifying each entry in the journal, such as writing the date at the beginning of each entry. Students may use page numbers or clever titles, which will be helpful when students want to revise or reevaluate a past entry. Provide an adequate amount of time for students to gather their thoughts and write them down. Tell them how long you will give them to write and how much writing is generally expected. And then the important thing, provide feedback. Okay, in the form of a written conversation, questions, notes in the margin, or some notation that lets students know you are reading and thinking about their entries. I remember when I was still a student, whenever we will pass our journals to our teachers. It makes me giggle every time she will give me some notes, side remarks, and because I feel that I'm special to her, like that. Okay, narratives. So, what is narrative? This is a story that shares a sequence of events, characters, and themes. It expresses experiences, ideas, and perspectives that should aspire to engage and inspire an audience. So, what's the purpose of narratives? To tell the audience a story. It can be written to motivate, educate, or entertain, and can be a fact or fiction. Now, what to teach? We have your organization, characters, beginnings, plot, detail, cliffhangers, endings, and themes. So we have your organization. This the characters, the setting introduced before the problem, and then the plot, how you organize the narratives. Second, the characters, the people, animals, or the other beings that move the story forward. Next, beginnings. Help students figure out how to set up an interesting beginning. Plot. This involves a problem that characters must address or a main event that they need to navigate. Next, detail. Adding details about the character, explaining a setting, and describing an object or important object. We have here cliffhangers or suspenseful situations. And then endings. After the problem is resolved and the climax of the story has concluded, students need to wrap up the story in satisfying way. And then theme, what the story is all about. And then we have here, how does teaching narrative writing look different across grade levels? Okay, you cannot give a higher level instruction to kindergarten pupils, right? So there are ways that you should give to different grade levels appropriate instruction. We have here for starting from kindergarten to grade 2 pupils. We'll teach them about narrative through read alouds, both fiction and non-fictions. Okay, so, okay, teachers here, they will read the story in the most creative sounds, like that. They will feel the story. Okay, and then we have your third and fourth grade. Help students organize their narratives with timelines and outlines of important events. Also teach mini lessons on strong introductions, endings, and adding details in the story. In upper elementary school and beyond, students should know how to write a narrative. Now they are learning how to strengthen their narratives with evidence and are learning advanced narrative skills. Now, how to help students who are struggling in making narratives. Okay, we have your pre-writing and organization. So graphic organizers are big help for them because because this provides structure that students need to organize before they write. And then you can also teach them transition words. Narratives are often told in chronological order, so a list of transition words like as soon as, during, finally can help students connect events. Okay, yes, that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening.